Peace. This is the enemy's public, and I am Bro.Nasir. To all my Muslim brothers and sisters, wishing you a Eid Mubarak. Today, I'm going to deal with two subjects. I'm just going to get right into it. First, I want to speak about our sister in Louisville, Kentucky, who was murdered by Louisville, Kentucky Police Department. Now, on March 13th, in her home, Sister Breonna Taylor was asleep, and she was met with knocks on the door. As they said the police knocked on their door several times before entering the home. Now, and they was executing a no-knock warrant. Now, a no-knock warrant is guaranteed to possibly cause someone to be murdered. Can you imagine being asleep and someone's knocking at your door, banging on your door the way the police bang on your door? And when they do enter your home, they're yelling and screaming at you, waking you up out of your sleep. And automatically, you don't know if it's the police in your house or if it's someone who broke in doing a home invasion. So, I don't know what the police thought Brother Kenneth Walker was supposed to do, being the way that they entered Sister Breonna's home. They said they were met with gunfire. How did you expect to be met when you kick someone's door in and you're running through their house with guns? How are you supposed to be met? Are you supposed to be met any other kind of way when you kick someone's door in and you're yelling and screaming at them, which is what they do? This I know for a fact. This is what they do. They kick your door in, they're yelling and screaming at you. And they were met with gunfire. Rightfully so. I'm going to say that again. Rightfully so. And for the prosecutor to even suggest that they would press charges on Brother Kenneth Walker, who defended the home of Sister Breonna Taylor, they ended up shooting the sister and killing her in her own home. This is a habit that the police around this nation are engaged in. They're entering people's home and they're murdering them. Now, the FBI said they're going to do a full, thorough, impartial, unbiased investigation into this shooting. As if black people have an iota of faith in the FBI and the outcome that they will get from their investigation on the March 13, 2020 shooting of Breonna Taylor. They're not going to determine, regardless of what, that the police had any wrongdoing. Why? Because there's no money involved. Now, if they were investigating a police officer who stole money, he'll be done or she'll be done. But there's no money involved. It's human life in particular, black human life. So they could care less about our sister Breonna and what the police did when they entered that home. If you look at Detroit, when Officer Weekly, when they busted into that home in Detroit and shot 7-year-old Aiyana Jones in her head and murdered her, it was a black Negro judge who let that devil walk. Okay? Now, we need to understand this. Now, Mammy Tammy Kemp, after sentencing Amber Geiger to 10 years in prison, walked down from the bench and gave Amber Geiger a hug. When most case scenario, a judge have harsh words to say to a murderer after sentencing them. I guess she wasn't the right complexion for harsh words. If it was you and I, whether male or female, that were black, even as a black judge, she would have had harsh words for a convicted murderer. Now, and the bailiff in that same case was brushing Amber Geiger's hair in the Amber Geiger case when she entered the home of Botham Jean and murdered him. And the brother wanted to hug Amber Geiger. Now, one thing I want to say is we have to be mindful when we support some of these families, because everybody supported the John family when Botham Jean was murdered by Amber Geiger. And our support for this family was taken for granted. After all the support we gave this family, this is what they did. They hugged the murderer. Okay, they forgave the murderer. And that's like a slap in the face to your supporters. The judge hugged the murderer. The bailiff made sure she looked good in court. And that's making mockery of black people. Now, we are living in perilous times, and we need to make up our mind of what we're going to do about people when they murder our loved ones. Now, bad enough, Travis McMichael murdered with his father, murdered our brother, Ahmaud Arberys. His father's name was Travis McMichael was the one with the gun. But his father's name was, what was his father's name? His father's name was, what was that devil's name? What was that devil's name? What was that devil's name? Gregory. I believe it was Gregory. Gregory McMichaels was the father, and Travis McMichaels was the son, the one who actually pulled the trigger. But they're both equally as guilty of murder, and so was the man the person who recorded it. To make matters worse, to add insult to injury, the sister of these two wicked demons, Lindsay Mcmichaels, posted a picture of our brother Ahmaud Arbery's body, his bloody body, on her Snapchat. We need to understand the significance of this, okay? The significance of this is when white people shoot down a elk, a deer, moose, wherever they decide to hang on their walls, like wicked beast. This is what that is. When she posted that picture of our brother on her Snapchat, that was like a badge of honor. It was like a trophy. A kill to white people is a notch on the belt, merely. Don't care nothing about human life, just a notch on the belt. And she said she did this because she was a fan of true crimes. That I could emphatically believe. Her father and her brother committed a heinous true crime, and she is a fan of true crimes. She's a fanatic of true crimes, and she fantasizes about true crimes, committing them in particular. Now, the two murderous race soldiers chased our brother Ahmaud Arbery down in a truck. He was merely going on his daily run, and they cornered the brother, and he was just executed in broad daylight. Now, the sister said it was poor judgment. She just narrowed a human life being snuffed out, the murderer and the murdering of a human being, a young 25-year-old black man, as poor judgment. It's like shrugging your shoulders like it's nothing. Now, this wicked behavior is the same as when black people were enslaved or during the Jim Crow era. We need to understand this, okay? This is why I say how dare protesters in this pandemic, this stay home mandate, say that them staying home is synonymous to slavery. Social distancing is synonymous with slavery. When white people are found not adhering to the mandate, they're giving masks. Black people are beaten and subject to arrest. Now, there's good news when it comes to the subject of arrest. The prosecutor said they would not prosecute any social distancing arrests. They won't prosecute none of it because they said black people are being targeted. So that's why they're not going to prosecute any of the social distancing arrest. Now, white people, when lynching us, used to make it a town event, okay, a spectacular, okay, like a carnival or the circus coming to town. And they used to bring their entire family out to see this lynching. If you read the book Without Sanctuary, you will see that white people, their children, they were out, they were dressed for the occasion, and it was like going to see a circus. They'll string the brother up, hang him or her, sisters too, and sometimes after they hang them, they will burn them. and they'll chop the body up and they'll take pieces of the body home as souvenirs. Our people need to know this. Our people need to know that we're not living in a post-racial society, and we need to know that things are not going to change until we, not as individuals, we as a people change our dynamic in this country and in this world. I'm not going to say just in this country because racism, white supremacy is global. I tell people who try to go abroad, you're not going to escape it. And not only that, the entire black world is waiting on a black man and woman in America. They're waiting to see what we're going to do, and they're going to follow suit. Trust me, we need to understand this, okay? Now, when we're lynched, pictures are taken. They take pictures of us. They actually make postcards out of those pictures. And you can see some of them today. Again, the book Without Sanctuary is a book of American lynching. Okay, the book is published by Twin Palms Publishers. The book probably will cost you. You can get a used one, or they sell them new also. But the book is still on sale by Twin Palms Publishers. It's called Without Sanctuary. Our brothers and our sisters have been lynched all the way up to this day. Now, our young brother Ahmaud Arberys' bloody body was laying on a Georgia street. It was a badge of honor. That's why Lindsay Mcmichaels posted a picture on her Snapchat for everyone to see. And it was a badge of honor to kill this brother. They chased this brother down and they murdered him. And our people need to understand that every time we say something about white people killing us, the first thing they say to us is that we're killing each other. It's the truth, but white people do not care about black people dying. They don't care about black people killing each other. They just use that as an argument for when we call them out. Now, what we need to do is stop killing each other. Our brothers in Trenton are bugging out. They're killing each other left and right. And they both have a open, consistent enemy in common. And they're pointing the guns at each other instead of at their open enemy. In all actuality, you're supposed to point guns at people who point guns at you. Yet our brothers and sisters need to understand we have an open and consistent enemy that's killing us globally, and we shouldn't have time to be killing each other. Our ranks needs to come together. We need to intertwine our ranks and increase our ranks, organize, strategize, and deputize, as my minister Abdul Kareem Muhammad always taught us. If you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. We need to know this. Yet our people have too much time to do harm to each other. Yet we want to go out and protest when police officers kill us. Yet when we murder each other, there's no protest. We need to protest that, get our affairs in order, our acts together. Then if anyone come and they do any harm to a black man, a woman, or a child, we have every right, I want to use the word, retaliate. No one should murder our children or our loved ones, and we wait for their brother to serve them justice. Most case scenario, they don't do it. And not only that, if they saw that we were a unified nation of black people and we wasn't murdering each other and there was real, true black unity, they wouldn't kill us. They wouldn't kill us. They see the divisiveness. That's why they kill us. Because they see we're divided. They know that what we're going to do. They can predetermine what we're going to do. So we need to not have them predetermining what we're going to do. Suspense is better. Suspense is a war strategy, actually. Yet they can predetermine what we're going to do. They're going to come out of City Hall, they're going to protest, they're going to march, they're going to make noise, and then it's going to die off, and then something else happen, then they'll do it again. No. We need action. Plans of action. Plans of action. One more time. Plans of action. Action. Retaliation. I don't care who disagrees with this, but that's the only way that we're going to stop those from murdering us. We can't march to these people, brothers and sisters, and expect them to give us justice. Justice is a reward or penalty. Whatever side that individual's on, there's a way they get served. Yet we have people, our sisters are being killed in their homes. Our brothers are being killed in their homes. When you send someone to someone's house with a no-knock warrant, you're setting the people in that house up to be murdered. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. A no-knock murder, because somebody kicked my door in, the first thing I'm doing is reaching for something to take them out of here too. And Brother Kenneth Walker is a hero. And Brother Olu Stevens is a hero. Brother Olu Stevens needs to be supported. We should make it known that we support this brother because he's doing the right thing, upholding the law, instead of being clicked in with so-called law enforcement. Law enforcement is against someone who upholds the law. Olu Stevens sent our brother home where he should be. Now, the only bad part about brother Kenneth Walker being home is his woman's not there because the damn police murdered her. Brother defended the home, shot one of the officers. So you're telling us, this what law enforcement and this is what the so-called justice system is telling us. I don't care who it is. If the police kick your door in, especially when they kick the door in, unjustified. Now, our sister was an EMT. I don't know what our brother did for a living, but our sister was an EMT and she's dead. She was murdered. EMTs are preservers of life. They are life saviors, okay? Save yours and save hers. That's what EMTs do. That sister was in the life-saving business. And she was snuffed out by law enforcement. And we're supposed to allow anyone, I don't care who it is, it's your home, and as a man, you're supposed to protect your home. And if anyone comes in your house uninvited with evil, ill intent, regardless if it's uninvited, it's automatically, to me, evil intent. The man and everybody else in their houses is supposed to defend that home. And if that man defends that home and he kills an officer, especially when that officer is not justified being in that home, so be it. The cop was in the wrong home. Like if somebody had killed Officer Weekly in that home in Detroit when they was raiding the wrong house and killed their little baby. Somebody kill your child, you got a right to either kill him or their child. I'm leaning towards both. Especially when you mind your business and you don't bother people and you're not in the business of doing harm to people regardless of who they are. Someone kick your door in and you have weapons to defend yourself, defend yourself. Because why? If they're coming to kill you, you don't have the right to defend yourself? That is crazy thinking, and that is not consistent with justice. Our people show incredible restraint when it comes to others, but we will murder each other in a second. We need to stop that. That's backwards thinking. That's backwards thinking. Now, they're doing, I want to say they're trying, but black media is so on point with everything that happens today. They're trying to smear our brother's name. Both of the brothers. Ahmaud Arberys and our brother Kenneth Walker. Now the charges was dropped against our brother because of evidence, yet it should be cut and dry. They did a no-knock warrant. They went in and murdered the brother's girl. He shot at them, hitting the officer, I believe it was a sergeant. And at least he got away with his life. That's not even, because our sister is dead. Even would be one of them dead. Or all of them dead, because all of them is not worth that sister. Because she was in the life-saving business. Everything they got on their belt is to maim, injure, and murder. They're not into saving lives. They probably don't even carry the Narcan, which is the only thing that would be on their body, on their duty belt to save lives, if they carried Narcan. But most of the time, when especially overzealous, pipsqueak-ass white boys come in with their guns, they're waiting for someone to move so they can shoot them. They're in the murder business, and our sister was in the life-saving business, and she alone is worth their whole department. And they still need another amount of all of them in that department to equal what their sister was. Yet, our brother had to go home without her. She's not there with our brother, Kenneth Walker. And they decided that they wanted to prosecute him for defending her. No, that's the man's job. He did it. And I hailed him as a hero. Period. Now, back to our brother Ahmaud Arbery and the posting of these pictures. Again, we need to understand that when white men get a kill, that's a badge of honor. Not only police officers are murdering us, regular white people with guns is chasing us down and murdering us. The same thing that they used to do when black men used to be falsely accused of this or falsely accused of that, especially rape. They'll go right into the police headquarters and take our brother out. The police will allow them to do it and take him and string him up. This brother, Ahmaud Arbery, was murdered in broad daylight in Brunswick, Georgia. Brunswick, Georgia. And they kept it a secret, tried to sweep it under the rug for 2 months. But black media is not having this nonsense any further. We have our people, boots on the ground, doing their own investigations, and they're going to go with the truth, total contrary to what the propaganda machine that smeared our brothers and sisters' name every time something happens. They try to smear the name. They always try to dig in and find out if the young man took a pack of now laters when he was 6 years old, and they say that's his he has a criminal record. Now, our brother was running. He stopped, got water, kept it moving. According to the owner of the house, he said he was prowling in. But not only that, if the owner didn't see fit to call the police or chase this young man, why was these wicked demons, the Mcmichaels, chasing this brother? See, this vigilante thing, we need to get into. When someone murder our child, someone murder our loved ones, we need to do the same thing. Butter for the fat. That's what we need to do. You kill my dog, I'm gonna slay your cat. We do it any other instance. When a Crip kill a blood kill a Crip. We need to intertwine those ranks, come together with alike minds. And if anybody come in our community with foolishness, we run their ass out our community. Whatever we don't want in our community shouldn't be there. Whatever we want in our community should be there. And if we don't want murderous, racist ass cops in our community, he should be ran out too, or she should be ran out too. Make their ass scared to come to work. Because for one, if you're a taxpayer and he's not doing his job or she's not doing her job, and they come to bash heads because 9 times out of 10 they don't live there. All they do come beat on black people and go back and tell their white friends wherever they live at, I beat a nigga today, or I killed a nigga today. We have to stop that. We have to stop that. This is the Enemy's Public, and I am Bro.Nasir. Like, share, subscribe, leave comments in the comment section. Peace.